Tujikaze, tujikaze, jikaze. Tujikaze, tujikaze, jikaze. Africa, tujikaze, tujikaze, jikaze. America, tujikaze, tujikaze, jikaze.
You are listening to African Father in America podcast by Simon Javan Okelo, live from Seattle, Washington, USA.
Thank you so much for joining me for an amazing travel session, here on Clubhouse, and we are also going to be live streaming on YouTube today. My name is Simon Javan Okelo, and I am in Seattle, Washington, but I am from Kenya originally. I am just going to make a little adjustment here on the volume. Thank you for joining me. I see that we've been joined here by Coach Gerald. I'll invite you on the stage on Clubhouse. And how are you doing, Coach?
I'm doing well, thank you. It's so funny, I was just looking at Seychelles, East Africa. I'm really excited to go there. I did an ancestry DNA thing probably about 3 years ago and found out that I was 50%, 53% Nigerian, and the rest was Cameroon and Mali and a few other things. But yeah, I'm really excited to head over to Africa. And I've talked to a few people there, and it's funny how politically and socially how they portray Africa in this dirty, no money, like this, like why would you want to go there type of situation. And I talk to people that are there, living there, and they show me their FaceTime and they show me what it is that they're looking at. And I was like, and you're just, as an American who's never been to Africa, you're just blown away. Like, you expect to see what you see on TV, and it's laughable that there's a real, like a whole, just like we're living here in America, it's the same shit. Everything is the same as far as the quality of life. Yes, are there people living in rural and harsh conditions? Yes, of course, just like here in America. But there was this fallacy that was that ruralness and etc. was Africa. Like, there was no modern, there was no sustainability, there was no anything besides poverty. So I'm so happy to see and know that, when I go there, there's this beautiful world that's there.
Yes, there is a very, very beautiful world that is out there, and that's my passion. Exposing people to traveling, in Africa, and exposing people to how beautiful Africa is, and hopefully in the process changing the narrative about Africa. I am in Seattle, Washington, but every year I organize a trip, with very many people. In fact, I'm going to play a clip of one of the trips that I organized there, and I am actually live streaming this conversation on YouTube. So if you want to, see my face, if you want to, connect with some of the work that I do, it would be great for you to also go on YouTube, because the clip I'm going to play is a video that you can actually watch and learn a little bit more about the work that I've been doing in Kenya. And also, if you go to my Instagram page, you'll see the same video that I'm going to play here shortly. But this room particularly that we are in here in the One Vibe Africa Club is held every week on Wednesday. And we do this together with a number of amazing friends and family and brothers. And one of them is Joseph, who just joined us here now. And in a moment, we're also going to be joined by others who are deeply, deeply involved with the travel, industry in Africa. So, I'm just so glad that you're here, Coach. I hope you stay longer so that you can really learn some of the current trends. Today, our topic is going to also focus heavily on how has the pandemic impacted travel in Africa, and how are people changing their travel patterns across Africa based on the influence of the pandemic. So stay with us. Joseph, please go ahead and introduce yourself to our amazing audience members.
Thank you, Brother Simon. Good afternoon, good day, everyone. My name is Joseph Kafunda. I'm from Namibia. I'm a tour and safari guide where I travel with clients or people that are looking to explore and experience Namibia. At the same time, I'm a co-founder of a company called Rafiki Tour and Safari. Rafiki Tour and Safari, it's a company uh, in partnership with three different friends. And the way it started, it's really funny because the three of us, we are both from a different backgrounds. I speak French. One of my very good friend of mine speak German, and the other one speak Spanish. We were sitting just around the campfire, enjoying our evening tea, and we thought, what is the best way of which we can be able to empower ourselves and create something better for both of us. And since we were friends and we used to be in love with a movie called The Lion King, and one of our favorite person in the movie, he was the monkey. And we thought, oh, the monkey was one of our favorite character. Why can't we call our company called Rafiki? At the same time, I had the meaning, I knew the meaning of Rafiki to in Safari or Rafiki and knew that it means friends. So we created that company around our friendship. And since then, that company has been running and we propose tours and safari in 14 different countries in Southern Africa. And we are proud to be members of the One Vibe African Club. So we invite everybody to travel virtually since we know we cannot be able to travel and stick around with us. And then we have some beautiful, beautiful, amazing lineup of things that we have to discuss today. My name is Joseph, and I'm done speaking.
Wonderful. Thank you, Joseph. And welcome, Andrew and Charles and Eric. Join us on stage. We are here to inspire you all to travel with us to Africa. I'm organizing a trip this year. And in fact, if you go to my link tree, you'll be able to get to the website of One Vibe Experience. So if you go to my link tree, which is on my Twitter and also my Instagram, you'll be able to get to the website of One Vibe Experience where you can, just learn a little more. But in a moment after Aduoa has introduced herself just briefly, I want to play a clip. And if you want to watch this clip, you can actually join me on YouTube for just a few minutes, and then we will begin our conversation. Our conversation is going to go on for about an hour, and some of the areas that we are going to cover include primarily four things. One is you will share with us, three of your fantasies of traveling to Africa. Which are the three top destinations that you'd like to go to when you have an opportunity to travel to Africa? Then the fourth thing is the impact of COVID-19 on traveling across Africa or from anywhere in the world to Africa. Those are some of the things that we urge you to think about as you come on stage to share your perspectives with us. Aduoa, how are you? Where are you joining us from, by the way, today?
Hello, Simon. Hi, everyone. I'm joining you from Tema in Accra. Sorry, I'm a little late. I was kind of waiting for it to start, and then I lost track of time a little. I see we are still at the introduction stage, so it's okay. Yeah. Hi, everyone. Hi, Joseph, Simon. In here. Okay. The rest. Sam is here. Hi, Sam. Okay. My name is Ajua, and I'm I'm an African travel enthusiast. I've worked in the travel industry for a few years. I worked with a couple of airlines, and the last airline I worked with was Emirates, which allowed me to explore Africa a little more. And now I'm at that stage in my career where I really want to highlight Africa as a destination. Ghana, not just Ghana in particular, but Africa as a whole. But where I know about mostly is Ghana, and that's why I'm here. I'm happy to be here, and I welcome all of you here. And with that, I'm done. Thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much, Adwoa. I do know that we gave Coach Gerald a chance to introduce himself. So I'm going to just give everybody on stage a chance to just quickly introduce yourself, 30 seconds. Then we are going to watch a clip. I'm going to share the YouTube link that you can use to watch the clip together with me. And as soon as the clip ends, we are going to hear from everybody on stage. And I also want to encourage you to share the link to this room within Clubhouse, and also clip it. Share some of the nuggets that you're going to get from this room to Twitter, and then we are going to retweet it. The hashtag we are using is Travel in Africa. So since Coach Gerald already introduced himself, let's hear from Jordan briefly, just 30 seconds introduction, then Ella, then Andrew, then Charles, and then Sam, and then we'll play the clip and then begin our conversation right after that. Thank you so much. Jordan?
Thank you very much. My name is Jordan. I am Namibian and Kenyan and French. I have lived in southern, eastern, central, western, and northern Africa because of my parents' jobs. And I'm really glad to be here because I am building a company that is very much based in African travel, and listening to the stories might be able to help me. Thank you very much for letting me speak.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much. Ella, how are you? Where are you joining us from? And, why is travel in Africa important to you?
Hi, everyone. I'm joining everybody here from Jersey today, in the U.S., New Jersey. To me, travel in Africa is important for lots and lots of reasons. Like as someone who is coming at this from a West Indian background, I'm Haitian. I am keenly interested in learning about Africa, and I know there's a large portion of the population that's really interested in getting accurate history and like historical tourism. But more importantly, more than that, is building up the economy. Africa stands to be the world's most populous continent in short order, I believe, to populate China by 2050, Nigeria specifically. So there's a lot of opportunity for commerce and trade, and with the population being one of the youngest on the planet right now, a lot of opportunity to build industry. And as you guys all know, there's a lot of new industries that are popping up around us, and I think we are primed to use travel as well as technology in combination to really bolster up these economies and help shore them up. Me in particular, I'm very, very interested in metaverse tourism that focuses on Africa as well.
Hey, Ella, you changed your profile picture, so you got me confused a little bit, but now I know who is talking. Anyhow, thank you for being here. It means a lot. Andrew, how are you doing, my brother? Thank you for being here. Share with us just briefly an intro and where you're joining us from. Thank you.
Sure. Good afternoon, Simon, and everyone else. I'm speaking from the New York area, and I'm an entrepreneur, and definitely interested in Africa for both leisure and business travel. And we're in the process of getting a hotel in Jamaica, buying a hotel in Jamaica, and definitely would like to see how we can, do some other business opportunities and pretty much in the tourism industry in certain countries in Africa also. And as a West Indian also, definitely want to connect to my roots. I think we did ancestry tracing, and I believe we're Ghana, Nigeria, and definitely would love to visit as many countries in Africa as possible over the next couple of years. With that, I'm complete.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Andrew. I'm definitely hoping I can be helpful in regards to getting you to Africa. And I just value you so much, for so many reasons. Charles, thank you for being here. Share with us just a quick intro before we continue on with the program.
Yes, my pleasure. I mean, 30 seconds is not quite enough, but I will try and tell you as much about me. Yes, I am Charles. I am a proud founder of what I'm calling Africa's first travel marketplace, Zaniheza, Zaniheza, inspired from a language spoken in East Africa, in Rwanda, where I grew up. I was born in the Democratic Republic of Congo and left Africa, Rwanda. I also lived in Kenya and I left in 1997. So I have not lived on the continent for so many years. It took me 24 years to come back. Now, one thing I noticed is, traveling all over the world, in Canada, in US and Japan, is that there are so many misconceptions about our continent, that Africa is not safe, that those usual things. So I took it upon myself uh, to make a change. And sometimes in the diaspora, all we hear is, I want to do. Okay, fine, but please get off your ass and go and make the change you want to see. So Zenhiz is a travel marketplace, and I'm proud to say that we are growing. Some of the people I see here have joined the platform, and the idea is, think about Shopify. If you know, think about DoorDash, that kind of major impact. At the same time, I am building tools to really allow tour operators to connect with travelers all over. So we will be building a booking software, and yes, the metaverse also will be coming, but we need to build the foundation first.
That's excellent. Thank you very much. We definitely need to get on a Zoom call with Ella and you and anybody else interested in building the metaverse experience for travel across Africa. I am in conversation with the person who is leading the Kenya Wildlife Service for Impala Park in Kisumu, and I'll share more, but I have a team in Kenya, and the video that you'll watch will provide you just more context. But there's so much opportunities. A lot of game reserves in the continent are struggling to bring those experiences to the masses, and being able to have a film crew in the continent that can create some of the the content that we can then incorporate into the metaverse experience, and then charge a small fee that benefits wildlife preservation and environmental protection, would be a huge game changer. So thank you for all that you do, Charles. Sam, thank you for being here again today. How are you? And just a quick introduction, please.
Greetings, guys. My name is Sam Pamaga. From Ghana. I work as a farmer and a freelance tour experience creator. And yeah, so what I do basically as my two aspects in the farming, I'm into pineapple, and I'm more into agritourism, where I get to showcase what we grow. After growing what we get to process and other as share that experience. So, and aside that, I offer tours to Ghana, Togo, and Benin. That's what I do. Thank you.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's amazing. We should sometime talk about, agritourism really, and how tourism should also be focused on, touring some of the farming initiatives, the cocoa plantations, the tea plantations, the coffee plantations. So thank you again for all that you do. I'm just grateful that you're here. Now let's hear from Ramanomitaji. How are you? And just briefly introduce yourself.
I'm fine, thank you. Good evening, everybody. My name is Unochari Muvuma. So Ramana Michari is so long, so I think calling me Uno will be better. I'm from Namibia.
Okay.
I'm an artist, and I do part-time guiding. I'm from the Himba tribe, so I do part-time guiding with Kiboko tours. Kiboka Adventurous.
Thank you, Uno. Now I'll call you Uno, and I'm just so grateful that you're here. And now I'll play this clip here real quick, and then we'll dive into our conversation. I will not play the whole clip. I'll just play it to give us context. So if you're able to join us on YouTube, the link is at the top of the room. Thank you so much.
This is Tanzania and that's Kenya.
We are here filming for One Vibe Experience, which is an initiative that is a part of One Vibe Africa that aims at bringing, young people from the diaspora to Kenya so that they can visit and reconnect with their roots and culture.
We all spend money on trips and events that we go to, but we never really get anything out of it. You get a great time and then you go back home and that's really it.
I had a lot of interest in coming to Africa initially. I do love to travel, and this was one of the places that I wanted to come see.
It's like a vibration, One Vibe. It's like a vibration.
It started mostly by watching the documentary itself. I think I didn't have a very good outlook on maybe what some of the issues were, or the work that Simon had been doing in Kenya specifically. And so after seeing the documentary, I just felt like I really wanted to see it firsthand. I wanted to experience it. I wanted to help in some way if possible, and just kind of take on as much of the culture as I could from an outside perspective.
It's like a vibration. But the beginning of self-empowerment is being conscious about what's going on around you and accepting it and then doing something about it.
For us, we just wanted to prepare ourselves to be always on the move. I think when you come to Kenya, especially this location, you don't want to take too many heavy bags. You want to be able to carry everything by yourself. Always try your best to be portable when you come here. Try your best to take your equipment and keep things small.
So we've been gone for almost a month now. We went to Lebanon, which is where we're from, and we also went to Indonesia. And then we went back to Lebanon, and from there we flew to Nairobi. The traveling experience was great. There were definitely some hiccups along the way, getting to different locations, but it almost made it better. It gave us more of like an authentic feel to what we were doing.
Thank you for watching that brief clip. And if you want to watch all of it, you can actually go to my Instagram page. I just posted it about an hour before this conversation here on Clubhouse and also on YouTube. But now I want to open the floor so that, first we could learn a little bit about Aduoa. There's a comment you made in the WhatsApp group in regards to how coronavirus pandemic has impacted, travel in general. And we want to, talk about the travel gems, the 3 travel gems from each one of us. You don't have to share 3, you can just share 1. And also, let's talk about how the coronavirus pandemic has impacted travel in general, but particularly for Africa. So, Aduoa, we just want to give you the honor so that you can grab the mic first.
Thank you. So which one do you want me to talk about first, the COVID or the travel gem?
Feel free, just go whatever
Okay.
direction you want to take, it's fine.
Okay, let me talk about COVID and how it has changed the travel pattern for Ghanaians going out of Ghana and people coming into Ghana. Of course, there was the 2020, which was basically lockdown and repatriation flights and so on. But something that came out of it was an appreciation of local content in terms of travel. So now you find more people going to other tourist places in Ghana and discovering the country more. And you find a lot of visitors from other West African countries as well. So you have Liberia, Nigeria, occasionally even from the southern part of Africa as well, Zambia and so on. And they come to Accra. I think also because there was that requirement to isolate for 14 days before traveling. Some countries had that requirement for certain nationalities, that you would have to have isolated somewhere for 14 days before you make that trip. And a lot of West Africans these days, when they want to travel, because of visa restrictions and so on, they are moving more towards the Middle East and Asia, where it's easy to get either a visa on arrival or an e-visa, which is not as restrictive as getting a Schengen visa or an American visa or United Kingdom visa, whatever it is. So that is the shift that I have noticed, and it's confirmed in the numbers. When you get to see the numbers, you see that there's more of a shift eastwards because it's easier to travel that way. And you can get, in terms of shopping, everything that you get from the West. So there's really no need to go through that whole harassment of getting a visa before you can travel and that kind of thing. So that's what I've noticed. But COVID itself, once airports opened worldwide, that condition of getting a PCR test and so on, which a lot of people complain about, has not really stopped people from traveling. You see whole families of all ages, some as young as babies or toddlers, traveling in spite of the fact that they have to do PCR tests for maybe 4 members of the family, get an antigen test done on arrival. Sometimes when they get to Dubai, they have to stay there in a hotel room for 24 hours for the results at the airport to come and so on. It really has not deterred people from traveling. What it's done rather is it's as if the initial restriction of movement in 2020 and early 2021 has made people want to move more. But it has also made people independent in terms of their travel arrangements. So they're not going the route of travel agents as much as they would have before. They would go online because everybody wants to save what they can and use it when they get to the other end. On the other side also, a lot of people find it comfortable coming into Africa because they see that the COVID numbers are not as high as in the West. So they feel very comfortable coming to Africa because they feel like it's freer. And even if they have to wear a mask sometimes, nobody really penalizes them if they don't wear it wherever they go. And they are comfortable with the fact that if they come, they are not going to catch COVID.
Yeah, we lost Duo
They are
there.
vaccinated and boosted. Oh, you lost me? Sorry. At which point did you lose me?
Just for a second. Keep going.
Okay. Right. So what I was saying is that there's also an influx of travelers because Africa, the continent of Africa, has been, in this COVID time, has been identified as a place that does not have high COVID mortalities or high COVID numbers in terms of serious cases. So yes, we've had our own issues, we've had our cases and so on, but it's nowhere near the numbers that have been experienced in Asia or Europe or Northern America and so on. So you see that people are coming in because they feel like it's safe. In terms of COVID, it's safe, so they can come. And when they come, they really want to explore the culture, the food, the people, and so on. So it's in that sense, it's encouraging. I would say that in that sense, it's encouraging. It's been good. It's picking up, and if we can take advantage of that and really, tourism is not as developed in West Africa as it is in East and South Africa or North Africa. So West Africa is that place where tourism is a bit more rustic and virgin and more of how do I put it? It's more of an individual experience rather than a tailored experience for a lot of people. And that itself is not a bad thing. We just have to streamline it a bit more so that it becomes more accessible and more predictable in terms of budget preparation and what to expect when you come. So that's been it with the COVID side of things. And then locally, because of that also, there's an enhanced interest by the people themselves to showcase our treasures a bit more. So my first gem today would be a place called Stone Age Park in the Eastern region, in a place called Abetifi in Kwewu. And if I can find the link, I'll give it to you, Simon, so that you can share it for anyone who's interested. This is a place where it was discovered that there was human life here in the Stone Age times. So there's evidence of that era here in that part of Ghana. And somebody has acquired the land and is developing it to maintain and keep the original things that were found in there. And it's very interesting. He's an artist. So, he's doing it up in a very interesting way. And that is one place that I haven't been yet. But I would encourage anybody who comes to Ghana to visit because it's totally different and it's authentic and original. And that's my gem. And that's my contribution on the effects of COVID on travel in Africa. And with that, I'm complete. Thank you.
Thank you, Adua, for your contribution and for helping us build this space. And I just loved the gem that you shared with us, and also the nuggets of wisdom that you shared with us in regards to the impact of COVID-19 and how traveling in Africa post the coronavirus pandemic is going to look like. Joseph, I'll pass you the mic so that you can also share your perspectives in just a second. I want to invite everybody in the room to feel welcome. I want to invite you to ping in 3 to 5 people into the room so that we can, build the village in today's experience of travel in Africa, and also clip some of the nuggets you're getting, share it on Twitter, and use the hashtag Travel in Africa so that we can also amplify, what we are saying here and build this community so that every single Tuesday we can continue growing this community. Now let's hear from Joseph, and then after that we are going to, just create space for everybody on the floor to take a moment, share your nuggets when it comes to the impact of COVID-19 on travel in Africa, and also some of your travel gems across Africa. Joseph.
Thank you, Simon. And Adoa, thank you for sharing such a lovely story on the impact of the COVID-19 in Africa. Simon, as an advocate for emerging tourism enterprise, I'm actually the chairperson of the emerging tourism enterprise here in Namibia, where our mandate is to assist and promote emerging tourism companies that are looking to penetrate and enter the market. But the impact of COVID-19 has been really, really drastically heartbroken for those emerging members that were looking at assisting and helping them out through the pandemic, because many of them have closed the business, and we don't actually know if we're going to be picking up with some of those emerging. At the same time, we must not just look about the negativity of the impact at the same time, because if we look at the tourism, it's a value chain business. So meaning many of the people, also those who were big companies who were already in the tourism industry, some of them closed because just the pandemic has been really, really hard on Africa. with the Omicron. That was like a nail on the coffin for many of those who were looking to survive and those who were looking to revive their business by seeing a little bit of a light at the end of the tunnels. So, in case of Namibia and Southern Africa, we were the most hard-hurted people, especially from November until just recently, where most of the European country put Southern Africa into the green space again. So it was really, really bad. But before that, it was like a mass grave, which we all had to face. But we still have a couple of chances, and we still remember that there are some couple of people that will be able to assist. And as 2022 is starting to show the sign of picking up, and currently I just picked up another tour 2 days ago, so I'm traveling again, and yeah, we are just looking at how we can be able to assist, especially those emerging and coming up tourists. Just to share my travel gem today, I'm not gonna go far. I just visited Namibia in the past 2 to 3 days, and this space is just amazing. I was for the first time looking at the Namib Desert, and I just see how green the Namib Desert has turned. It just reminds me of some places that you have never really seen. Imagine seeing the sand dunes, ochres, red sand dunes under the green vegetation. So this really just touched my heart while I was showing to my tourists or my clients, and I realized that I'm living in such a beautiful, beautiful country. Traveling from Namibia, just from Windhoek to Sossusvlei or the Namib Desert, we had to see and stop so many places just to admire the landscape. And we end up even taking a night extra just in order for us to admire the landscape where we stop. We didn't move, we just walk around, seeing the beauty, the natures, the rivers that are crossing or running through. And today, I find myself here in Swakopmund for the first time in maybe 34 years. One of the rivers just reached the ocean today. So it was an amazing moment that each and everyone was looking forward to. So I'm gonna go with my first travel gem is Namibia. Namibia is it's in a cliche country. It's just a place where I invite anybody who's looking for peace, looking for places that you can go and get lost in the wonder of nature. You should be able to look at Namibia as a solution. So I'm sharing Namibia today as my first travel gem for today. Thank you, Simon.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you very much, Joseph. You know, I've met enough Namibians now that I feel that I have to go to Namibia. Not that I need to, I have to. So, when I come there, Joseph, you have to take me to some of your favorite spots when it comes to food. And I'm surprised today. You normally talk about the gastronomy of every travel gem location you speak to, but you haven't touched on your favorite Namibian food. I know you're from Namibia, so you're maybe overlooking some of your food there, but we don't know. Do you want to speak to that for a moment?
Yeah, sure, Simon. It's not, traveling. It's not good or it's not complete if you don't talk about food. And Namibia is one of those just places that when we look at gastronomy, it's something that is really different. And being majority of the people here Bantu speakers, we have also the kind of similarity to Nyamachoma, especially when you're in Vendu. But this time around, we call it Kapana. Kapana in single quarter, Kapana at Wanaenda bus stop, Kapana in Kuriangava. It's just one of the speciality that many of the people who come to visit Namibia should be able to go and enjoy. The place you are eating it around the fire, you can either eat it with some of what we call our normal traditional bread and so forth. So it's just different. At the same time, we have the speciality like the goat's head. This is just one of my favorite, and it's the way it's cooked, the way people take time to prepare it, and the way they spice it afterwards, and the way they cut it into a form of small. And that one they give you also with a little bit of very very soft mealy meals and a little bit of salsa or tomato cuts mixed with onion and a little bit of it's become like a salad. This is just some of those few things that Namibia can be able to offer. we do have also the traditional marathon chicken, which is a traditional raised chicken in a farm, which is known for running and all those kind of things. That chicken is just one of the most tasteful chicken that I've ever tasted. So it's gastronomy for Namibia. We can unpack it and we can be able to tell you as many things as you can. But coming here also, you can be able to explore the wildlife, wild meat. You know, we have like one of my favorite wild meat here. It's an oryx. It's our national animals. But when you eat that meat in a plate, it's so tender. It's so soft. You don't even realize that you are eating in a wild meat. So gastronomy in Namibia, it has so much impact. And I train and I tell my emerging tourism members, I say, look, don't look at starting a business in any other things, because food business can always make you become part and parcel of the tourism industry, because it's in a value chain business. So we must not just be saying we want to create tours package and so forth, but you can create a hosting space where you can be able to invite people at your house. You cook for those people. You cook together and share it with them afterwards. That is also part and parcel of tourism. Wine. Namibia produce about 15 to 17 different bottles of wine, and one can actually come here. We can do a wine tours. We take you wine and you dine. You know, just imagine wining and dining as a tour package for you yourself here in Namibia. So we have so many things that we can be able to offer, Simon. I'm done speaking. Let me give an opportunity to other people. You know, travel is our passion. And once you start sharing your passion, you just don't want to stop. I'm done speaking. My name is Joseph.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true. And I just loved everything you had to say. So, you know, if you are a wine enthusiast, you don't have to go to Napa. You can go to Namibia. That's great. Now let's hear, you know, from Coach Gerald. Coach, you know, you heard a bit from some of our, you know, creators of this space. I just want you to take a moment, share with us your 3 top travel gems, you know, places that whenever you think of traveling to Africa, those are the 3 things that come to your mind. And also speak about, in your opinion, how has the pandemic impacted traveling, especially to Africa? Okay, so Coach is probably away from his microphone. We will go to Jordan. Jordan, how are you doing? Just share your travel gems and your perspective on how the pandemic has impacted travel in Africa.
Oh, well, for me, when it comes to the pandemic, I can't really speak to that because I was here during the pandemic as I couldn't travel back home, which was really sad. But my only three? God.
Yeah, 3 for now. Then we hear from others. And if you have a little more time, you can add, you know, a little more.
Yeah, sour too, sour too.
Yeah, when a Kenyan says sour too, it kind of makes you sad. So you can say 4 then.
You know. Well, for me, well, to start with Kenya. Um, I left when I was young, but I've been going back, as I've grown over the years. I've always found myself drifting back to coast, especially between Watamu and Kilifi, North Coast. So that's the first one. Um, ooh. And in Namibia, because that's where I was born and I'm from, my entire mother's family's from there, would be the north, so the Ondangwa or Shakati region. It's the town, the town there is just the energy is just so interesting. It's like nothing I've ever seen. Um, the food, the people, it's just so unique. That would be my second one, and then my third one. Oh my God. Um, My third one would have to be Osu, which is in Accra. I used to hang around there while um uh, while going to school as a teenager. I loved Osu not just because it was great, growing up, but the food, the people, um, just the energy around Osu was great. Being on on the side of the road and I could strike up conversation with anybody was really, really cool. And people were engaging and stuff like that. But yeah, those are my three ones. Sorry it took long. There's just so many.
No problem at all, at all. Thank you again for being here. Nashukuru kabisa. Ella, how are you? And share with us some of your travel gems in Africa. If you've never been, some of your fantasies, places that you've dreamt of going to when you go to Africa, and also your thoughts on how the pandemic has impacted travel, particularly in Africa.
Quite a bit there. I actually can start off with the pandemic effects. So our company does quite a bit of travel, mostly in North Africa and the Middle East. And I have colleagues who are located throughout Africa, mainly in Ghana, Nigeria, a few in South Africa, Senegal, a few other places. And so we usually have to arrange travel for them. And I have to tell you, it was a nightmare. Like whether it was going in or out of the country, when it came to vaccine requirements, there were certain, depending on the country where they were coming from or going to, the vaccines that might have been available locally may or may not have been compatible with the vaccines that were required for the receiving country. And like it was definitely a lot of challenges and it required a lot of logistical effort. There was ease when it came to North Africa. When it came to North Africa and the Middle East, and arranging for travel, it was much, much easier in terms of visa required, like just getting the visa. And then once you got the visa, just getting into the country. So a lot of them, like I'm thinking of like the UAE and Saudi, they were administering vaccines on site at the airport. So if you came into the country and you didn't have a required
Hey Ella, we lost you. You suddenly, your voice is really low.
Was I still coming in? I didn't realize.
Oh, now you're much better. Could you start with where you
Okay.
were speaking about UAE and Saudi Arabia?
Yeah, so the UAE and Saudi Arabia, we had a very easy time in terms of getting travel in, getting people in. Out was a different story, but in was easy. So when it came time to, when people would arrive, they had a program that would allow people to get the vaccine on site at arrival. Right. So if they were coming in and they didn't have the proper requirements, it was fine. They can take care of it right then and there. And of course, like everybody else, you were screened on site. Quarantine, Saudi was the only place that I saw where you could bypass quarantine um, through like three consecutive days of negative testing and things like that, like meeting certain types of requirements. Like they worked with you, is my point, to try to not interrupt your vacation or trip or business trip, whatever it might be. um, that type of flexibility was needed, but again, that type of flexibility was a decision that was made at the very top. Right? And I think for everybody in this room, that's one of the things that we have to think about. In terms of like my dreams and goals for Africa, I absolutely want to live in Africa. I'm not sure where I want to live yet. My sister-in-law, well, one of my sisters-in-law is she's from Madagascar. I have family that's now living in Nigeria as well, so I'm looking forward to visiting with them. Um, I I have been invited to Senegal and Ghana. So I'm looking forward to visiting and spending time and getting to know the communities there. And I'm hoping like through visiting and tourism, I'll find a place that I can fall in love with and settle down in and call home permanently. I really have zero interest in staying in the US. I'd like to help build, um, I would like to help build within the Black world, if that, makes sense. Um,
Hey, Ella, it makes sense, but I do want to say that Haiti is also part of the Africa Union, so you can speak to your travel gems there.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So Haiti, so my family is from the southern section of the island. I travel back and forth to Haiti quite a bit. I can't really speak to the tourism friendly sites, right? And it's sad. It's really sad to say because Haiti has a lot of sites that are known to the local that are they're just not exploited enough. You know, they're just not shared. They're not developed in a way that you can attract top level tourism. I know, like Simon is aware of this. I'm very interested in um, using crypto and NFT based industries to help with land development in Haiti, and tourism is a very key part of that. I'm in the beginning, I'm really focused on agriculture, but it's you can't have these discussions without talking about, you know, tourism because it's such a key industry to just keeping your economy growing, right? Regardless of where you are in the world. I wish I had like specific sites I could share with you. There is one. So very few people know about this, but Haiti actually has a fortress. Um, and right now the name escapes me. Like,
It's
if
it's
anyone knows.
it's all good. One of the things I'm most curious about really is, and Joseph has spoken to this a lot, the voodoo culture in Benin. I would love to also explore the voodoo culture in Haiti, especially because I hear that, because of how spiritually strong Haitians were, that's part of why they were amongst the first nations to fight their colonizers and win, and become independent so early. So maybe next week you'll be able to speak a little more. You could do some research and speak a little more next week about some of the travel destinations in Haiti. What do you think?
Yeah, I would love to do that. It sounds wonderful. I can do that.
I had a quick question for you, Ella. Is it Ella?
Yes, that's fine.
Okay, Ella. I'm here in Miami, Florida, and obviously I'm around a ton of Haitians. And I really, I'm seeing what's going on there on the news, obviously that version of it. And I really hadn't got a chance to talk to anyone about, what's not necessarily what's going on, but like, is it okay to go there now? Like, what's going on with Haiti? Because
Uh,
there's a media version, and then there's the real version, right?
right. Yeah. Um, it really depends on like so here's the thing, right? There's definitely tourist friendly sections of Haiti that you can visit that are owned and operated by American owned companies and enterprises and sites that you can absolutely just go down and see. There's a few resorts, again, I'm sorry, the names escape me. But that are available for that. In terms of being able to freely travel through the country, it's not stable right now. Security and security has been an issue that's ongoing. A lot of people who do feel a little bit more free to go back and forth, it's usually because family is, there. So, they have people that can kind of navigate for them. Um, I hate saying that. Like, it breaks my heart to say that, but at the moment, it's not secure. Not at the moment, right?
Thank you,
I know
thank
they're
you. No, I
working on
totally get that.
that.
That's hard. Yeah, no, I totally get
Yeah.
that. That's hard. And I had a guy that was from Haiti explain it to me this way a couple weeks ago. He says, imagine leaving your home, kissing your wife and your children, but in your mind, not knowing if you will be able to see them when you come home, if you will come home later.
Yeah.
The way he said it, he looks me in my eyes, and I'm just like, he didn't say that was him. He said, that is how I live every day. I don't know if I will be able to come home or not. And I'm like, oh my God. Like, so when you said it's not stable, that's what he's saying. He's saying exactly what you're saying, which
Yeah.
is, things are different. Yeah.
If you're disconnected from the island in terms of your family, I wouldn't recommend as a Haitian American to like just go down there willy-nilly. I wouldn't. With an organization, yeah, if you want to volunteer, absolutely. They tend to like there's a lot of respect for foreign groups and foreign aid groups and things like that. So that's one way to do it if you were really keen on going. But to just kind of go there like backpacking and just check it out, it's not there yet.
Thank you, Ella. Thank you, Ella. And it will change. It will change. This is what people used to say about Somalia. But now, travel bloggers from Kenya go to Somalia all the time. So thank you again for being here. Now we want to go to you, Charles. We'll pass you the mic. Share with us your perspectives on the impact of the pandemic on travel across Africa, and also, your travel gems.
Oh yes, absolutely. Thank you for the space. I actually live this firsthand, so I have much to share, and hopefully I can add value. Zaniheza was born in February, and we in the diaspora, when we come back home and we see the change, because what we see in the media does not always reflect what has happened. Like I said earlier, it had taken me 24 years, especially for me, because I left in Rwanda during the genocide against the Tutsi. So that being said, when I saw, I always kind of knew, but where Rwanda is now, if any of you have ever been, and I was like, wow. So it kind of hit me that I had to do something as the son of Rwanda, as the son of the continent. So, but February, I was like, okay, good to go. And then the pandemic hit, and then we went into lockdown. But underneath all, I really want to empower the youth in Rwanda, in Africa. That's what primarily drives me, because when I saw the young men and women dying in the ocean, trying to cross to America, and I was like, why? Why can't we solve this? Stay home and let's build our countries and our continent. So then when the pandemic and then lockdown hit, uh, with my young team, I made the decision to continue, knowing that it was crazy, because even if when you live here, everyone is a child. Why even thinking about Africa? You are okay where you are. Forget about that place. Anyways, so then we worked through the pandemic, and um, about in October. So when Rwanda reopened, so also another thing is Rwanda had an obsession with the lockdowns. I think it's one of the country that took some strict measures. So when they first reopened in August, because initially with Zaniheza, I wanted to do tours, experiences myself, and really learn from the ground how things work. So when finally they reopened in Rwanda, I was like, okay, we are good to go. So we tried to launch some tours and focusing on the domestic. So please follow, because this also has been a wake-up call. Rwanda does a really good job to market their country with the Visit Rwanda and Visit Rwanda campaign, but primarily tourism on the continent, according to my research, is focused on international travel. It's not really geared for people on the continent or even in the diaspora to travel. Mind you, they like to say that Black people don't really travel. we just we just don't, unfortunately, at least for leisure, let's say. And domestic tourism, I even through our channel, I voiced it. We have a channel where I usually speak to many players in the tourism and so on. So I realized that domestic tourism, especially from the Rwanda context, somehow does not work, and there's so many reasons for that. And then there's also regional tourism, and also has challenge. So this is also a wake-up call. It's really a wake-up call to say, you know what? As much as we rely on international traveler and let's say the Caucasians, we need to really, we as people of color, we need to do it more. We need to travel and go discover our roots. Why not? And I happened to travel during the pandemic. In October, I took a plane from Canada and went to Rwanda to see my team, the young kids, to say hello and also see how I can sort of help on the ground. And the flight was quite long. It was very challenging to leave Canada. I really had to fight my way out, because where are you going? So that's another thing. Seeing the pandemic or in Canada and living it in North America, in Vancouver, it was very interesting, because at some point, except Rwanda had an obsession with the lockdowns and all the strict measures. But I remember they were holding concerts in West Africa, right, Sam? And I'm like, in Canada, even up until now, people are scared, and have people seen the memo? What's going on here? But again, that shows you the beauty of our culture that we don't always put forth. If I may generalize, in Africa, the hospitality, the happiness, or as Joseph went on about food and talking about, the gastronomy, and uh, we don't see that. And that's what I would like the world to see. We don't hear all those beautiful aspects. Everything begins with food, the culture, the music, which is now taking the world with, let's say, the Afrobeat. I know it's kind of supercharged with what I'm saying. So I went to Rwanda, and I I flew through Kenya. It was my first time flying with Kenyan Airways. And my goodness, they were so hospitable. I think they gave me like 6 kind of beers. I've never seen that in my travel life. um, and um, and so then, coming back was another challenge to book a plane. So I saw those challenges. I did not really enjoy the COVID test. That's why I have not left home, like sticking things in my nose. I was like, no, thank you. That's quite invasive. I'm staying where I am until things calm down. Um, in terms of I will end it there for now. In terms of the gems, I am really about discovering many places. I am going to Ghana. I am really coming, and I'm gonna go to Namibia, and then of course Rwanda and Zanzibar. You said Triba. For me, it's really food, sitting down and eating that goat they mentioned, and really reconnecting with the local ways of doing things, because Rwanda, and I was born in the Democratic Republic of Congo, and I can see the difference. Like, even when I go to Rwanda, sometimes people say, "Hey, are you really Rwandan?" I'm like, "I think I am because it's my blood." But I am really connecting about the culture, and then mostly bringing that to the world as well.
Thank you, Charles, and thank you for all the amazing work you're doing. By the way, I sent you a message on your Instagram, and I want to, connect with you and see how we can collaborate. Sam, thank you again for being here. Share with us your travel gems and also your perspectives when it comes to the impact of COVID-19 in travel around Africa.
Thank you, Simon. I really appreciate this great job you're doing. Uh, like I would say, with the first of all, it's hard to skip to the last one question you asked about the COVID impact. Our sister Joa has said a lot, and I will also have to hit hard on what she said about domestic travel, which I'm really, would say, because during the lockdown and all the experiences, and after that, more of the civilians, I would say Ghanaians, were able to identify and be able to embrace what they have, and it's really pulling that power for a lot of them to have that that enthusiasm to explore their own country, and get to discover what their country is being blessed with. And I would say it's a very good impact that has been, that a lot of people were able to, because then everyone was traveling out of the country. Oh, I want to go to Europe, I want to go eat to this, and during since the COVID hit, a lot of people, youth, the elderly ones, they all started having that feel of going outside their comfort zone, because they've been home and a lot of things have been really down on them, and they feel like, okay, I just want to travel up to this region and see what is happening in this region. So with that, I could say, and today's travel gem will be about this beautiful town sited in the Volta region. And this Volta region, I would say, is somewhere called, is also one of the mountainous region in Ghana. And this town called Amejope, it's a town that I would say, and according to research, and I have been there, and say is the highest human habitation in Ghana, which has an altitude of 677 meters above sea level. And I would say Amajopa is a very beautiful town up on a hill, like a city on a hill, which I would say, because me being there touring around Amajopa, I would say Amajopa is being blessed. Let's say, talking about being blessed with the Ote waterfall, which was just recently discovered with the canopy walkway that has been constructed, that when you get to the waterfall, you can just easily walk through on the canopy walk and just get to feel the warm, the chill of the waterfall, and it's very beautiful. And also to say one of the highest mountains, which is Mountain Gemini, I would say, has a very historical symbol about the Second World War. And up on that has a steel cross, which has been used by the Germans missionaries as a source of communication during the war. And I'll say, exploring that place is so beautiful up there. And I'll recommend everyone who is looking to visit Ghana to look out to that spot, especially the Volta region. Has a lot of gems and a lot of treasure about Ghana. Thank you all.
Yeah, man, I love the Volta region. I have been there before, and I didn't enjoy that trip. Not because the place was not beautiful and because the people were not beautiful, but because I was there for work. So I was on a very strict schedule for all the 3 trips that I was there. And now that I know you, and now that I have many more connections now than I did when I was in Ghana. So when I was in Ghana for work, so I'm just excited to come back again in the near future. So thank you, Sam, for sharing with us your travel gem, and your perspectives today. Yeah, man, and come again next week. By the way, I'm grateful. And now let's hear from our brother Piers Ali. How are you doing? And share with us how COVID-19 has impacted your travel, especially when it comes to traveling in Africa, and also share with us, of course, where you're joining us from, and if you have, any travel gems in Africa, places that excite you when it comes to traveling in Africa that you want everybody who is listening and watching to hear. Excellent. It looks like Kansila is unable to get on the mic at the moment. Go ahead, Coach.
Simon, I do have a question.
Yes.
So I'm curious about Cameroon. If anyone has any information about any beautiful places to go there, things to do, any tips or tricks, any what to do, what not to do as far as Cameroon. I don't know anything about it besides that I'm 45% Cameroon. That's all I know.
Well, my thought when it comes to Cameroon, just briefly, is one of the greatest soccer players of all time is called Roger Milla. If you've ever heard about Roger Milla, he's from Cameroon. And so if I ever go to Cameroon, I would want to go and visit where Roger Milla grew up and just connect with the people, with the people that knew him very well. That's one thing that comes to my mind. The second thing that comes to my mind when I think about Cameroon is that, the Africa Cup of Nations that just ended earlier this month was held in Cameroon this year, So that's another thing I would want to explore, what were the venues where the games were held, and who are some of the players, and, and just to connect with the soccer community in Cameroon, because Cameroon is also one of the soccer giants in Africa. People like Rigobert Song, one of the best defenders to ever come from any African team, came from Cameroon. But the floor is open. Let's hear what Joseph or Aduoa or anybody else can share about Cameroon.
From what I know, Cameroon has an interesting duality in the sense that one part of it is French and one part of it is English. And from what I've heard from my parents who went there on mission, is that the distinction between those two sides is very stark. Like you have like a French Cameroon and an English Cameroon, but in like the languages are different, but then the pidgins and the creoles of the language, depending on which language they're piggybacking on, either French or English, are very, very different. And the people within themselves, the way they act, the way they speak, with the relationships with each other is also very different. So that's my 2 cents about Cameroon. But yeah, I would visit Douala first and then Yaoundé because Douala's a lot larger and it's a port city and it's very nice.
One quick
Okay,
side note
awesome.
about,
Oh, go ahead, Charles. Sorry.
yeah, I mean, I think we all have heard of that song by Shakira, This Time is Africa. Now,
Yeah.
I don't know if many people know that she took a song that was sung, one of my favorite songs growing up, by the group from Cameroon, Waka Waka. It was this group that you can even go see them on YouTube. And yeah, so that song, the Waka Waka, the group that sang it originally is from Cameroon, and they blended music and comedy. So if you wanna go check them, so that song originally is called the Zaminamina. That was sung by I believe a Makossa group in the Cameroon. Anyway, I grew up loving that song, so it was really cool to to see that it was kind of redone by Shakira.
Yeah, that's true.
Thank you so much.
That's true. You should look up Manu Dibango. He did the song Soul
Yes.
Makossa,
Yes.
and the current chair of the Grammy Academy is also from Cameroon. His name is Freddie Mooks. You should look him up. He's here in the US, in LA. In fact, he did a lot of the songs for the Super Bowl. He's a great talent, and he spoke during Africa Day that I produced here on Clubhouse, and he spoke a lot about the influence of Soul Makossa, that song that was done by Manu Dibango. That song is bigger in the rest of Africa than it is in Cameroon. Many people don't even listen to it anymore in Cameroon, but if you go to a bar in Kenya, you have to play Soul Makossa before the end of the night. Then another person from Cameroon you should follow on Instagram is the queen of Bamenda. Her real name is Naomi Achu. She's also an amazing artist based here in the US, but from Cameroon. And she's an amazing person, and we have access to her if you want to connect directly with her before you travel to Cameroon. Do you have any other question?
Yeah, somebody mentioned another. They said Dula. I think it was Dula in another country.
Douala
Douala.
and it's cities in Cameroon. Douala and Yaoundé. Yaoundé is the capital. Douala is the largest city. It's a port city.
Okay, is Yaoundé, is that closer? Is that closer inland, or is that closer to
It's more inland. Yaoundé.
Yaoundé?
Yaoundé.
I'm looking for it now.
And actually, Manu Dibango.
Oh,
Manu
Yaoundé.
Dibango. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Yaoundé. Okay.
And
Why do you like Yaoundé?
Yaoundé is, I mean, Yaoundé is just, like any other capital city, but I said I prefer Douala because of it's a bit larger and it's a port city and I like the sea. But Yaoundé is interesting because, it's just the vibrance of, any other African city that you have out there. But yeah, I prefer Douala rather than Yaoundé.
Would you say that Douala is more livelier than the other one?
Lively. I don't know. It's hard. It's hard. They all have their gems.
Okay.
Douala, why we went. I mean, I'll just be very, very honest.
Of
Douala,
course.
why we went and why we prefer it is because Manu Dibango was born there. So the music scene is very, very vibrant in Douala. So and my dad, who's very much into African music as in general, we went around, from bar to bar, from concert to concert. So yeah,
Oh,
I just have more pleasant memories in Douala than
I
Yaoundé.
have a
Yaoundé is more.
uh I have a really, really brutal question.
Go
So
ahead.
if I'm recently single, got divorced probably about a year ago. Which one, as far as if I were to connect, which one has the more feminine energy for women there?
I have no idea. Like no clue.
No clue.
I will
No
help.
clue.
Um, I will help on that question. This guy is
Thank
funny.
you, Charles.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Charles
Let
is
me
like,
just
oh,
help
I have a
everyone
clue.
inside
Charles says I
rural.
have a clue. What's your clue?
You definitely understand. I mean, in Africa, just pick a country and then go. But for now, we know that Rwanda, I don't know if everyone will say otherwise. Rwanda has, as you are saying, the female energy. But also back to what you said, like lively. I mean, I believe when you land in any country in Africa, it's not going to be like in the US or anywhere in North America. It's so lively,
Absolutely.
really.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely.
The feeling, the hospitality. You can also see on the YouTube. I mean, if you go look at the content creator, most content creators have discovered that they have to go on the continent. They all go to Africa because it's where they can create content where people talk to them and laugh. But if I go on the street in Vancouver and try to talk to people, I've been there for 20 years, they're going to think I'm crazy. They won't even
It's
Wow.
like
very
smile as
strange.
much.
It's
So you
very,
get
very
the
strange. It's
idea.
the same
So
here.
Yeah, no, totally. Yeah, they're like, what do you want? Why are you talking to me? What's the purpose of this? But versus being in another country, they're curious. Like, of course I'll talk and I'll answer questions. What harm would that be? Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah, I
also,
mean,
no, go ahead, Jordan.
no, I was just trying to speak to the difference between it because my family and I shuttled between Europe and the African continent when we were living in the different countries, and I always observed that it was just like a difference in the fundamentals when it comes to the view on what it means to be in a community. You know what I mean? Um,
Mm,
uh, you know, for example, whenever my mother wants to go back and just like get in touch with the family, we go back north, we go back to the homestead in Namibia, in Ashakati, you know, and that's where my entire family lives. Basic, not even the entire family. A lot of the people from the same clan just go back there. That's the homestead. Uh, and everybody just knows each other. Well, knows each other in biggest quotation marks. But everybody's just comfortable with each other, and people talk to each other because they're there. We're all part of the same group, you know, and that's very different as when you go to Europe or North America because that just doesn't it's not that it doesn't exist, but people are more focused on their very very nuclear um setting when it comes to like the family model, if that makes sense.
Excellent. So I sent you a song, Coach Gerald. It's called Cameroon by Alpha Blondy. And Alpha Blondy is one of the legendary reggae artists from Africa. He was in Cameroon for exile when his country was in war. And so this song talks about how he left his heart in Douala. So when you're being told to go to Douala, I was laughing because I think you'll never come back. You'll stay there forever. And, we are coming now to the tail end of our conversation. Thank you all for your contributions, to today's conversation. If you are just joining us, we have been talking about travel in Africa, particularly how the post-pandemic travel in Africa is going to look like. And I want to pass the mic to Joseph briefly. Just share your closing comments, and then Adwoa will share her closing remarks, and then we will wrap up our time together today. Remember, this session is being recorded for the African Father in America podcast. So if you want to, catch it later on, you can go to any of the podcasting platforms and you can catch it. But also, if you go to the link at the top of the room, you can get to my YouTube channel and subscribe. This conversation is being live streamed on YouTube as well. Thank you so much. Joseph?
Thank you, Simon. Let me just take this opportunity to thank all the moderators, Simon, for being such a great coordinators for this space. Adoa, thank you for coming and sharing your wonderful Ghana with us. And to the rest of those who shared, it was really, really nice connecting with each and every one. And I always tell people that travel and tourism for me, it's a therapy. You know, when I travel, I feel very connected so much to what I do, and I feel I'm at a space where I don't need a therapist in order for me to get healed or so forth. And the only thing that I will ever pay in my life is to travel. That's the only things that I can pay and create a memory that I can sit in front of my desk or I can sit in front of my couch and I smile about it. And besides that, there's nothing else that can actually keep me out of my space. So I thank everybody who have been here. And I said, let's continue building this heart together and let's connect as time goes and share some of wonderful experience that we all seek or what we have already done. And I look forward to next week hearing from Ella about the Voodoo Cultural Festivals, which is happening in Haiti, because I always love traditional experience, and this is always part and parcel of my interest. And connect with everybody, follow the club, so that you can always be aware of what is happening through One Vibe Africa clubs, and so that you must not feel left out. With that words, I thank everybody for coming and share the space with us. Thank you.
Wonderful, Joseph. Thank you for your leadership. I can't wait for us to meet in person, hopefully in Kenya, before the end of this year. Aduowa, how are you? And share with us your closing remarks.
Yeah, thank you, Simon, and thank you, Joseph, for that. I would like to end on this note. What I noticed when we were talking about this whole COVID experience and the impact it has had on travel and so on, the negative aspect of it is very tangible indeed. But as Africans, we have a very hopeful spirit. We like to look on the positive side of things, and we bounce back easily when it comes to that. What I would like to say is that, we talk about how people think Africa is one big space, but Africa is a country of is a continent of more than 50 countries, and more languages in this one continent than anywhere else in the world. Honestly, there's so many different languages in Africa, and yet we seem to be one. We have one spirit. So that's the uniqueness of Africa. And what I'd like is to encourage more interaction amongst us, between us. It's sometimes you see that it's more difficult to travel within Africa than it is to travel outside Africa. And I think this whole pandemic has presented to us an opportunity for more connectivity and for us to find ways to collaborate and really dissolve our borders so that we can move more freely on this beautiful continent of ours. So I look forward to visiting Rwanda one day, Namibia, Kenya properly, more than to explore Kenya more than I got the opportunity to do the one time that I was there, and so on. And this is what this Clubhouse room is about. So I hope that as time goes on, we can invite more people to join us, and the contributions are so valuable, so interesting, and so vibrant. And yes, we shouldn't forget other African countries that are a bit more further away from the continent, like Haiti. I mean, I love that little country. I have one friend who's Haitian, and when you hear about what is going on there, it mirrors so well all the things that have happened in Africa. But as I said, we are one, we have one spirit. And so unity is what we need in Africa. And with travel, everybody becomes family. And with that, I will yield the mic to the next person and thank all of you. And next week, I would like to see more people here. Bring some friends along and let's showcase our beautiful continent to them. And let's get travel going in Africa. Thank you.
Excellent.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sam.
Thank you. We appreciate you. You're welcome.
Excellent. I actually want to, propose that next week we do this conversation on Twitter Spaces. We just test it there and see how it goes. But I do think that the value of our space here is immense, and we need to test it elsewhere. Let's just test it on Twitter. Now we are live streaming on YouTube, which is something we didn't do over the past few months that we have been doing this room. And so one thing that you could all do, number one, if you want to travel with me to Kenya, is there's a link at the top of the room. Click it, add your information, and then I'll get back to you. I'll be able to, get back to you over the next week or so that we just initiate a conversation around that. Number two, if you want to be involved with creating this weekly space every Wednesday at 11:15 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, please DM me or Joseph or Aduoa. We have a private WhatsApp group with just a few amazing people who are helping make this conversation possible every single week. We can't do it on our own, so we need a few more people, not too many people, a few more people who are committed to helping promote this weekly space, and then it will grow. Good things don't grow suddenly. Good things grow deeper into the soil before you start seeing the leaves and the fruits and the branches. So it's a game of patience, and I'm just happy with the progress we are making. So again, thank you, and take good care of yourselves. Peace and love.
Thank you. And by the way, Simon, you can also count me in for the WhatsApp to help and grow. I've been doing this for the last many years now, so let's do it.
Thank you, Charles. Send me in the DM. Send me your WhatsApp number, and I'll be able to add you there. And again, remember, this is being recorded for the African Father in America podcast. I am going to close us out now. Thank you very much.
African Father in America. Tujikaze, tujikaze, jikaze. Tujikaze, tujikaze, jikaze. Africa, tujikaze, tujikaze, America. Tujikaze, tujikaze, jikaze.
You are listening to African Father in America podcast by Simon Okelo, live from Seattle, Washington.